All right, I'm going to keep it tight here because our friend Dianna Russini is about to be on national television in like 8 minutes, and we're grateful that she gave us any time at all. Good morning. How are you?
I act like I'm so important. It's just, I was on Mike Greenberg's show today, and it's one of those things. If Mike Greenberg wants you to stay and talk football, you got to stay. So I apologize. I can only give you guys a few minutes. What's going on down there?
We're surviving. That's okay. You don't have to apologize to us at all for doing your job, Dianna. This DeAndre Hopkins thing is a mess. It's going to be a mess for the next 6 weeks. How real is the apathy it seems that DeAndre Hopkins has about the two options that are actually on the table for him at this point?
Yeah, I think it's really fair to believe that the Tennessee Titans are in this. This isn't going to be a situation where, they tried and they did very minimal. I think the Titans have tried their best to try to lure DeAndre Hopkins here. And from what I was told from people close to the situation, DeAndre's going to take some time here to go over the offers he's been made and how he wants to go about it and where he wants to play. Now, this doesn't just mean that the Titans and the Patriots are the only two teams that are in this. Other teams could possibly emerge. At this point, though, these are the two teams that are in this game. So it's a two-horse race for DeAndre at this point. But again, some time can go by here and maybe another team pops up. But I know that he is taking the time to kind of go over the offers and figure out what he wants to do next.
Dianna Russini here with us on 104.5 The Zone. You just spent a bunch of time in Kansas City last week. There's been some reports about flirtations between the Chiefs and DeAndre Hopkins, some financial matters that they have to work through on the front end. How real is that?
Yeah, I didn't get the sense when I was out there and having some conversations with their plans for the future that DeAndre Hopkins was a player that they were going to make a big investment in on, right? So obviously you look at their roster and of course they could use a type of player like him, despite the fact that Patrick Mahomes told me that, the receiver competition right now is so good. He feels so good about where they stand collectively that, I don't look. Of course, Patrick Mahomes would want DeAndre Hopkins to join, but they seem very comfortable and good with the roster that they have right now. But that being said, if DeAndre Hopkins' market changes and the contract he's looking for changes, then it's a different story, Buck. Because I know the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs would sign DeAndre Hopkins if you wanted $3-4 million a year, but he's looking for that Odell Beckham Jr. type money, and we'll just see if we'll be able to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked through a couple of just over the cap and stuff like that, Dianna, and there just doesn't seem to be that team that makes sense. And I know, as you said, as this continues to drag out, there will be more teams that either bring him in for visits or publicly display interest in some form or fashion. Like, we know that this is basically just a waiting game, but that the finances of that are not easy for really any of these teams to make work at this point, given the window that we're currently in.
No, it's not, and I'm interested to see how the negotiation process would work and how it's going to work over the next few weeks, because he may be sitting back right now, and I'm sure the Titans and the Patriots are both going to want an answer at some point here. I'm not sure how willing each team is going to be to wait all the way to training camp for him to make a decision. So, it's that time of year where there is unfortunately some sitting around waiting, and it is the biggest story because there isn't much going on. But from everyone I spoke to in Tennessee, it just seemed they felt that they did everything to try to convince them that they have a roster that could win. And he could obviously be a gigantic addition and obviously help Ryan Tannehill.
I'm watching my commencement speaker at my college graduation, Sage Steele, interview Jay Billis on SportsCenter right now. What is she about to talk to you about?
She's about to talk to me about DeAndre Hopkins. So I'm about to get in my seat. We talk a little D-Hop. And Dalvin Cook, obviously, you heard recently Dalvin Cook joined Adam Schefter on his podcast to talk about how epic a duo they would be together to sign with one team, and obviously, the Tennessee Titans don't need a running back as talented as Dalvin Cook is at his age. But, the thought process here is I think there's a lot of fans that want to see these super teams like, let's say, the New York Jets come in and be able to land those guys. But that is not the sense I get around the league right now, that those two are going to wind up on the same team. Now, Dalvin Cook maybe to the Jets, yeah, I could see that maybe happening. Going to the Miami Dolphins, that as well. But for D-Hop right now, it just seems these are the two teams, the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. So we'll see how this thing shakes out.
You have 3 minutes to breathe. Thank you so much for stopping by. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, my God, so sorry. I love joining you guys. I'm going to come back soon.
Bye, Dianna. That's Dianna Russini with us on 104.5 The Zone. I swear to he's gasping for air. I didn't know she was wall-to-wall like that today. So we'll have her back at another point. We did get a lot of information there, though. There's a ton of stuff going on there.